Hey, I'm Bryce, this is Replay, and we're going back to 2018. We're listening to Post Malone's Beerbongs and Bentleys. It's not a mixtape, it's not the debut album, it's not the most recent album, this is kind of the in the middle one. Sort of the breakthrough moments for him. He definitely was getting a lot of backlash, especially from, hip-hop heads, and there's this guy, Charlemagne. He's just getting slammed. Like, he brought in his girlfriend, Post Malone, and Charlemagne's like, oh, you're gonna cheat on her. In front of her face, you're gonna cheat on her. He's like, oh, I'm not, I'm a good guy, and she's kind of going, no, he won't. And this album, it's kind of funny because you hear, I think, references to her, possibly. The follow-up to the debut, a lot of pressure for him. I think he rose to the pressure on this. So track 1, this is Paranoid. And this one, I think, probably in my top 30 most played, top 35 of this year. And I always come back to this one. It's cool. I mean, far out. Such a technical term. That's why you subscribe to this channel, for hardcore analysis like that. Never know when someone come and try to take my life. Bang, what the hell? First up, I'll tell you what, one thing I won't do, by the way, is like dance along. You know when you've been watching these replays and people are kind of sitting here like this? Man, we're sitting in stone cold silence listening to this, because how could you be dancing along? His first opening line to this is, never know when someone's going to take my life. And I wake up every day, with this anxiety. I mean, maybe he was going to sleep and thinking of Charlemagne giving him a hard time, I don't know. Dude, he's sleeping with a gun. This is some pretty hectic admissions from him straight away. I'm liking how it sounds. I love the haunting little harmony in the background. A paranoid man makes paranoid plans. I do what I can, but it's out of my hands. I thought it was an interesting rhyme, but paranoid man makes paranoid plans and it's out of his hands? Like, what's out of his hands? Like, he doesn't matter what he does at this point. It's like, when you've got Jake Paul doxing you on YouTube, that's pretty out of your hands. Post ordered some Jake Paul merch, ironically, and then he was like, oh, hand deliver it because he's a fan. Street right in the view, his cars are there, their house is there. Dude, of course he's paranoid. Like, that would have genuinely had big consequences for him. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful opening. I think this is a pretty underrated one. I don't think this really gets mentioned. It's funny, man. A lot of album opener songs, I feel like don't get the mention. I think of Playboi Carti, Location from his debut mixtape, Gambino, Crawl, Me and Your Mama from that Gambino album, and Paranoid, Post Malone. First song, I'm into it. This is where we start to see that of oh, he's done the LA thing, the White Iverson songs, congratulations. He's kind of hit that peak that he was wanting to hit, but I think he's already here, you can see he's backing away from that, and that just kind of makes me think of where he lives now. I think is in Utah, and it almost, you can feel it in a bit of a cold desert night, possibly. Then we have this track, Spoil My Night, with Swae Lee. In Ray Shremmerd, we'd hear Swae Lee singing and rapping, but I think how high he's gone on his own merits is wild, and this song was part of that, Post Malone being an artist on the rise and recruiting Swae Lee. It's two guys that were just making their own way and genuinely becoming superstars. And this is where we also start to go more into party, Beerbongs and Bentleys territory. Although, to be fair, there's some sad stuff coming up for sure. It's also the first girl we hear about in the album. Yeah, feelings come into play. It happens every time. She dancing in the stroll. There's this jewelry store in America that just film every rapper that comes in, and I think they're there at the same time, and Swae Lee gets Post Malone a gift. I can't remember if it's a chain or it's a ring, but they're genuinely pretty close, I think, these guys, which always helps, I think, in a song. You can kind of hear the difference subconsciously. When I walk up in the party, they all act like they know me. Then I spotted little mama through the wall of jabronis. I remember hearing a story, I think it was Ebony that told me. There was Post Malone in Australia, and God, this would be so annoying. He says, everyone acts like they know me, right? He was in this club and he'd go out for a cigarette and the whole club would just go out with him. It'd be empty in there. What a coincidence that everyone needs to get a smoke at the same time as Post Malone. Oh, and that's so obvious, man. If you're Post Malone, you'd hate that. You've heard this Paranoid song, he hates that shit. There are many videos you gon' post. Everybody on the gram gonna know. More paranoia. How many videos are you going to post on the gram? You know, you see people in your feed, right? I know you watching this have seen this, where your friend who works part-time at Big W will be like, yo, I hate fake friends, man. This is fake friends. I don't have fake friends. You don't have fake friends. Post Malone, Drake have fake friends. What are people using us for? Damn, someone didn't pay me back for the cab. Okay. Like, your friend's just an asshole. They're not using you for fame or something. Really big fan of this one. This is a highlight from the record for sure. And I think that's only in my brain. I think it's because I heard the live snippet and it embedded a little bug in my head that then had a baby when the album came out. Now I've got two bugs in my head. So I don't know if this is like a universally, damn, you have to hear Spoil My Night. But I mean, it still hits for me. I will come back to this record every couple of months or whatever and start. In fact, and I'll tell you about it, there's some bullshit with this album for me. So, yeah, this is up there. Then we have track 3, Rich and Sad. We've had fun on Spoil My Night. We're back to being rich and sad. You know how it is. Again, none of us do. We're going to get sad, but we're going to have some fun while we do it, I think.
I finally had it, but then you just vanished. Damn, I thought I was savage.
He's written this presumably before Psycho and Rockstar, which were two songs that were like undeniable. Rockstar was like a billion hits. I think it was like the first song for him, I could be wrong, that got a billion with 21 Savage, right? So he's even richer now. So we're hearing, this is just the start of his journey into kind of this new life. But is this about the girl who was with him from the Charlemagne interviews, who's sitting right there? In fact, I don't think she's even sitting there in the interview. Charlemagne sees her and goes, come here, sit down. He's going to cheat on you, you know? Is this the girl that he wishes the money would have made stay? We'll find out. It's funny because I definitely had heard this narrative before. You can get a lot of money, you can get big and famous, but it's not quite enough. And this chorus is maybe one of the more clever ways I've heard that be done. I just keep on wishing that the money made you stay. And at this point as well, I think he was starting to feel less of the pressure of like, oh, I have to do rap and I need to please the rap people, but I also have all these other reference points that I'm kind of wanting to lean on.
But I'm gonna try to call you on the phone. I would throw it all away.
That's him. No effects needed. You know?
You ain't never cared about it anyway. I just keep on wishing that the money made you stay.
Like, put more 808s in pop music, man. I mean, look, in 2021 we're doing that, I think, a bit, but dun 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 dun, like that kind of 808. So now we get to track 4. This is definitely not a kid's show. You might have watched The Sweet Life of Zack and Codeine growing up. This is the sweet life of a song called Zack And Codeine. So Disney Channel heads, let's get it. Again, see how he's putting that little filter through everything? All the start of every song, almost so far, except for Spoil My Night. It's kind of got this, you're hearing it from a different room, or you're hearing it underwater, or there's like water in your ears or your headphones. It's kind of, they slowly creep up on you, the intros. Post Malone has this singing style that he will always bust out, especially live, where it's like his voice is doing this. And again, we get the song kind of fading out as they do. He's not a big fan of the hard stop, which is great for radio, dude. The amount of people that songs just go da-da-da-da, like that and are meant to come off the back somehow. Come on, man. Think of the radio announcers when you're doing this shit. We get to track 5 now, Takin Shots. What could this song be about? Again, see what I mean? He's coming in with the freaking, it never just starts with din 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 din. It's like a...
Waiting on the plug, but he ain't come yet. Still need something, put your bank on it. Got a big bag with a big pun. Party ain't over if they say something. No sleep till I seen 3 sons. Party going in with the 3 sons.
This is one of the more rappy songs we've had so far, if you think about it. He's not really singing yet.
Raw dog probably have 3 sons.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Raw dogs so probably have 3 sons. Okay. Is that why you had to postmate the plan B? Fuck, that's bleak.
Chasing up with somebody that never lets me down. They go to work for some money, we make it from acting now.
That's the highlight of this song, a few times. Like, again, he's doing all these little sound effects himself.
We taking shots right now. Yeah, we taking shots right now.
But then, it's like, we thought we were talking about alcohol here. What's with this gun sound effect?
See me in a Rari going vroom vroom. Sexy motherfucker in a car too. Sailing around 40 on a new suit. Sipping Bud Light, that's some new goose.
I wonder if he was sponsored at this point. Of course, if you know Post Malone, you know he's drinking Bud Light. I think there was this whole issue, right? When he first blew up, he wasn't 21 yet. Or no, he was 21, but you had to, I think you have to be 25 or 23. There was some age that you can't be sponsored. And this is either before he was officially, I think he's there now. But he was always mentioning it even though they didn't. He was banking on it happening eventually. This is obviously like hip hop heads would hate this, you know. He just said ribbit, ribbit. He did some frog onomatopoeia, right? I'm sure fans of like boom bap a doom bap. I went to the shops and I got a little hat, like whatever, are not gonna hear this and be like, yes.
You know that I've been on the road, celebrate life when I come around.
I will say though, that is what is cool about this record is he'd already had huge chart success. So imagine how scared you were going to be putting out this record, and he just added to it with this.
Yeah, we taking shots right now.
And again, he's love with the distorted outro. It doesn't just end clean, but this is where we get to track 6 on the album. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'm counting with my finger. What's the freaking matter with that? This song, this is where we find new level Post Malone. Rockstar with 21 Savage. This song was everywhere. Everywhere.
It was legendary through a TV out the window of the montage.
And because you know why it's going to hit, because it's just him walking over it. And that's staying consistent in the background.
I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
That's the thing, the difference between a producer and a beat maker. Knowing when to have that little pause there to capture your attention again. Smart, thank God.
I've been in the hills, superstars feeling like a pop star.
I've always had this opinion, man, 21 Savage never disappoints as a feature. Of course, Post Malone, I think it's pretty obvious at this point that he's had some big success. That Future did a remix of Congratulations, which was his other really big song. So 21 Savage knows what he's going in for here. It's real smart. He's gone, yep, this is a smart move for me. And it definitely was.
Drinking in it bad, jumping in the pool and I ain't got on no bra.
But he's still doing the delivery of like the dark, scary mixtapes. It's like, no. It's not him suddenly being like, and I'm 21 Savage, you know? It's kind of sticking true to his form, but Post Malone's just found a more marketable way in terms of full-on mainstream, mums in the car, I guess, to bring in 21 Savage, which is, yeah, it's awesome. Let's go to track 7. It's called Over Now.
I'ma pull up in a belly with 100,000 in my pocket. Yeah.
He can go there delivery-wise, but he stripped it in a way where it's a bit more like, yeah, he's a bit more shouty.
Yeah. And help another whip and I don't give a if you don't like it. Yeah.
This is kind of a post-explosion type song, walking away from the fire type song. Does its job. Oof, and there we go. Holy shit. No drag in that one out. Done. Because then we get to Psycho with Dolla. I say 21 Savage doesn't let you down with a feature. Dolla is probably, if I'm being honest, a smarter purchase. I love a 21 Savage feature a lot more. It's like a lot more interesting. I'm going to like go there and be interested. But Dolla he has the meme of being like the king of features, you know? So, like, fuck, just starts that soft, little, gentle entrance, you know?
I pick on psycho, lil' mama bad like Michael. Can't really trust nobody with all this jewelry on you. My roof look like a no-show. Got diamonds by the bolo. Come with the Tony Romo for clowns and all the balls.
I guess I can see what criticism would have been, though, in terms of the subject matter getting repetitive. Like Diamonds by the Boatload, we've heard that plenty of times. Pretty much on every song so far we've heard, whether it be relationships being affected by the money or just him having fun. We've heard that plenty of times. Just that hum underneath that. And there's that, it's like not as aggressive as some of the other 808s, but it's enough of a hum underneath that you're like, fuck, and you turn that up a little bit and properly sort of smack this one around.
We know what a benzo we get in the rent, and I'm like, whoa.
Again, that vocal thing he does.
Like Michael, can't really trust nobody with all this jewelry on you. My roof look like a nose.
You can hear it humming as well, like that. Little details like that take it from 0 to 10.
Can't really trust nobody with all this jewelry on you. My roof look like a nose.
And it's funny, like, can't really trust nobody with all this jewelry on you. He's still paranoid in this one too, but it's like, it's packaged different. So in that first Paranoid track, it's like, oh, man, I feel really sad. But this is kind of, you don't really notice it. And then Ty Dolla $ign's just a beautiful singer, so it's, of course, it's gonna work. Cool. Then we have Better Now.
You know I said that I am better now, better now.
Hear that thing again. You know I say that I am. Then it kicks in.
My hands low, 20 candles blow 'em out and open your eyes. We were looking forward to the rest of our lives.
So I guess with this song, he's kind of taken the little jangly guitars that you might associate with that barbed wire, but put it to a very catchy, sing-alongable, poppier type song. This is not a song that I think was released as a single. It was mainly those two, Psycho and Rockstar. It's just proof on here that Post Malone can do that many times. Beautiful outro. Beautiful. Again, kind of got a windy sort of like feeling to the one we just heard. Then we have Ball For Me with Nicki Minaj. I don't find myself listening to this one anymore. In fact, I don't think I ever really flocked to it heaps. So let's dive in a little bit though. With this, I always had like my 7 songs that I would just I put them all in different playlists and I didn't go to the other ones. This is one of the ones I didn't go to. I can see if you were a music critic listening from front to back, you'd be like, oh, it's Ball For Me, another Money reference. I don't think everyone listens to albums like that, so just let's move on, you know, it's fine.
Back to you, I'm so into you. For real, bread, like I'm keen to you. If you were 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you.
So yeah, this isn't really one I'm jumping back into. Happy for it to exist. Otherside, here we go.
I was putting on for you like a jersey. What I didn't know then couldn't hurt me.
This is another one I didn't take over with me to the next sort of area, but he does do this on albums, Post Malone. He'll kind of, fuck, this jacket's a bit more insulated than I thought it was. He'll take songs to the kind of a different space. Like he's kind of shown us a lot already, and then he'll kind of go, actually, here's another way of doing it that I'm feeling.
Never thought that you're going through me dirty. Let me in the cupboard on the inside, I was burning.
It's his first kind of like, not first, but he's definitely picking up the pace with the flow here. Da 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 da, you know?
Save my breath.
Yeah. Not necessarily jumping back into it. So then Stay. This is probably is a big departure from the other songs, and probably the departure that I think stood out to a lot of people as like it's, you know, just him, mainly the acoustic guitar, which I was saying, you know, he'd uploaded plenty of covers with that before. We're kind of hitting that territory again with this.
Wake up, the truth is fading. Everybody's blind when the views are missing. Damn, who are we right now?
It's funny, I probably took more of the emotion from other songs, but this one definitely is an achievement. I know Rich Brian's shouted out this song as like wow, this is an amazing example of kind of constructing a real beautiful moment. So props where it's deserved for this one. In fact, Rich Brian has cried to this song, so yeah, credit where it's due.
Count on me to stay.
And you hear a little hint of the twang at the end there, like, which is hinting to other songs we've heard. And then this was a song I think they used to tease the album, Blame It On Me. Where that real 808 kicks in and it's not my fault, it's not my fault.
It's not my fault, blame it on me.
Kind of, yeah, just worth it for the, it draws out and then everything kind of stops with that.
It's not my fault, it's not my fault.
This is, again, it's a one where it's like you've got it in the background, you're doing something cool, maybe you're driving, you're doing whatever, and it kind of gets you in a, oh yeah, like that big moment kicking in. But I probably wouldn't be studying listening to this. You know what I mean? Cool. Then this is the song on here that is, I guess, the most rap, same B words with G-Eazy and YG. I think this is a song that people pointed to as like, simple subject matter, it's boring, it's blah, blah, blah. Maybe that wasn't the point. Again, this one just has enough of a kind of bounce to it. Yeah, whereas with Paranoid, I'm sitting and concentrating. This one, it's more of like, it has a very solid bump to it.
Woke and I'm hip to the game, so I'm thankful. OGs put me onto it, so I'm laced, bro. Real recognize it and you don't speak the lingo.
Yeah. This is just a song to bounce around to. Critics. But again, strip it back for the outro. Very simple. We love it. And then we get to this interlude. I think this song's really cool. I probably don't have many moments that I'm listening to it in, but it's very video game trailer. And I know Post Malone is a big gamer. So, did he have that in mind when he made Jonestown Interlude? Maybe. Yeah, bang. I think whereas, the YG G-Eazy track might have been falling off a bit, I reckon 92 Explorer, it's a bit more rappy, but it's just got a different sting to it to that other one. So I think this is probably, if you had to pick between the two, I'm picking 92 Explorer.
We got London on the track.
120, come catch me 40s inside of my belly. Shouldn't be driving, I'm fighting.
Big get getting London on the track, by the way, to produce this. That's a big get. And I think actually he has a custom 92 Explorer, Post Malone. So this is a guy that absolutely loves cars, vehicles of all kind. He's been not shy about that at all. So of course we were going to get a song dedicated to the car.
Kilo drop I got from Locker. If you buy that go, why you lying, bro? Got a knot in my talk.
It's kind of like he's got like a grooved piece of timber and just like he's dragging something across with that kind of thing.
When my whip start, then my wheels keep spinning. Ooh, baby, ooh.
That's the thing. This one's the difference between that and the G-Eazy song is like, this is still background, but I'm singing along to it while it's playing in the background. All right, beautiful. Candy Paint, it came out before the album. It was part of the Fast and Furious soundtrack. I actually hadn't seen those movies before, but I remember really liking it. And probably like it was designed to be feel good, in a movie that's quite popular. That's the thing. That's how you make your real money, man.
Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop. Everybody say that I gotta be stopped. Even though my final form ain't none of that.
I don't know if it's, even though my final form ain't unlocked. Do you remember that video of the lady who was demanding nuggets or something at McDonald's? And she said, this isn't even my final form. I don't know if it was a reference to that, because I reckon that was happening around that time. Or he's just genuinely talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Diamonds going crazy like they on the dance floor. Got a lot of nothing I can handle.
Yeah, I replay this one all the time. This is definitely up there, probably in that year, probably my top 100 played songs. It's like a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star type beat. Beautiful. So then we have Sugar Wraith, which is another car song. He's just decided to just to end the album with 92 Explorer, Candy Paint, Sugar Wraith. we're just loving the cars at the moment. There's a Rolls Royce Wraith, but there's also a band Sugar Ray. And I know he's about that kind of metal as well. Not metal, you know what I mean, but he loves like Pantera, but he'll also listen to, Sugar Ray, but then he'll listen to country music, he'll listen to, like Willie Nelson or something.
Last paycheck on some ammo. We don't follow trends, rest in peace of Yamo.
That angelic, heavenly kind of like floaty, synthy, caressingness as it kind of goes into the hard 808s as well. That combo, we've done it plenty of times on the album because it works. Interesting reference point is last year he was broke. Around the time of when the success was happening, he's only just started to reap the benefits of it. I think people just think you have a hit song and then immediately you're rich. No. Well, listen carefully.
Pull up in a Bentley with no standing. Depending how I'm feeling, take the drop of the extended.
Great album outro, just production-wise, they got the cinematic thing that I like. Floaty, similar to how we got Psycho and songs like Paranoid. It's got those elements in it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And there you have it. All right, favorite tracks. Paranoid, Spoil My Night, Rich and Sad, Psycho, and we'll put Candy Paint in there as well. I think, those are the ones that I would have gone, take it over here. And again, maybe that's not how you meant to use albums. Listen to it front to back. Hey, I didn't. I didn't notice how repetitive it is in terms of subject matter, which, again, it's because I never listened to it fully like that. I think when I remember just immediately when I heard it, I was like in love with the songs I was in love with. And it's probably the problem, right, artists would have is going, God, how do I get people to pay attention to the songs that don't jump out immediately to people, but still I worked really hard on. So front to back, I understand it's definitely similar subject matter, but the songs that I have picked out, Paranoid, things like that, you do go, oh, there's still a powerful moment, but I guess Paranoid's the most powerful way of him saying that fame is tough, whereas fake friends and then I got a thing that drips and it's dancing. I genuinely have no problem with I listen to so much music like that, so much, and I don't get bored of it, but I guess in this album I noticed that at some points I was like, all right, yep, we've heard you talk about this before kind of thing, which is interesting. I'm definitely not against that, but just something I noticed. Recently, Paranoid's actually made it back into my automatically on repeat. This streaming thing, they take the songs they know that you're rinsing and they put it in a playlist. It's made it back into it, so that's saying something. At this company, Triple J, I was doing reception for the first few months of 2018. And I was like, man, I want to work here, please, 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 please. Then that finished, and this came out maybe a month after that had finished, and the next 10 months were me feeling like these guys didn't want me here and were rejecting me. My own parents were like, dude, give up. Read the writing on the wall. They're not replying to your emails. They don't want you on air. That's not happening. There was probably some Spoil My Night might have been if I'd got a reply and oh, it's looking more promising. And then maybe other songs were maybe at sadder moments. But we got there. And 2018 was a cool year, so this definitely tracked some ups and downs for sure.